friends. Well, today I'm going to talk about the Ram Promaster. Now, as you may recall, a few weeks ago I did a video on why I would never buy a Sprinter van. And man, did that generate a lot of interest. I think that's my biggest video ever. I had it's only been a couple weeks and I got like 40,000 views. And for a small timer YouTuber like me, that's significant. So, and the thing is, the other part that's funny is got a lot of thumbs down. Oh, my string is. I need to sew my jacket. How embarrassing. Um, yeah, something like I think 370 something thumbs down and 350 thumbs up or something. So, and a lot of people are saying that they're fanboys of Sprinter, and they don't like it when you say something negative against their favorite machine. Um, a lot of the people need to understand is, which I should have made more clear. I take ownership of it. Is that I'm talking about North America Sprinter situation. It's different in Europe, completely different. The serviceability and everything here in Canada, US, is a lot different than in the European Union and the UK and things like that. So anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole forever, but I still stick to what I said, and I still believe that the fundamental concept of what I was saying. The Sprinters are expensive to maintain. They're beautiful vans, but eventually, I think around the 150,000 mile mark or something, the emissions gets all gummed up, and it's a major expense to fix it. It's all this DEF stuff. But anyway, that's enough of that. So the Ram ProMaster, in some ways, I think it's a really cool van. It's definitely the most spacious. It utilizes a very open feel in the back. The Sprinters and the Transits kind of go to like this little triangle bit at the top, where the ProMasters are straight up and down. The other advantage the ProMaster is that on the sides, it's straight up and down, but on the Transit, what I don't like, one of the things I don't like about the Transit is if you look at the pictures, there's they have the side of the van, like the inside walls, and then they have these little cubbies, for a lack of a better word, where they have like, I don't know how much, 8 inches, 10 inches of space, and then they have, it's like an opening, but they have the ribs on the outside. I'll put a picture up so you can see what I'm talking about. But that is really difficult to insulate, because moisture is always going to come down. Condensation, water, whatever, is going to come down. And the lowest part of the van is the most important part to insulate in a way, because you want the materials you use to insulate with to be very hydrophobic, meaning water resistant, mold resistant. And if you use like pink fiberglass kind of insulation, don't do it. It's bad to put it in there. It's going to get moldy. So anyway, off topic once again. Back to the ProMaster. So I'm not going to give you like all the stats about the engine and, all the different configurations you can get. Well, you have the 118, the 136, and the 159 wheelbase. And there's the lower top, and then there's the high top, which is fairly high. I think it's like 76 inches or something like that. But what I really want to focus on is read comments from current owners, and give you an idea about all the little things. It's like kind of like, if you take an hourglass and you put all the little sands in, they build up and they can be something really good or something really not so great. Okay, as I read through these comments, you will have a view of various ProMasters in various states and forms. So, like I said, I'm going to read comments of current owners and their pluses and minuses. So Steve Albert says he loves that it's diesel, has plenty of power, has good fuel economy, lots of space, and it's a very useful vehicle. And the negative side of things, he says a crappy rear door latches, very picky ECM, I guess that's the computer, wind noise in the cab, and low rear axle clearance. Laura Roy says that she loves the back camera, hate that the passenger side chair has no armrest, and the loud noise when you don't buckle your seatbelt is another detractor. Tom Lester says, or is it Tom Lester? He says that he loves that you can sleep side to side. It's got definitely of the Sprinter, Transit, and Promaster. The Promaster has the most room from side to side. He says it's very comfortable driving, and he likes the Euro look over the Transit. He loves the four-wheel drivability, and he doesn't like the amount of effort that it takes to close the sliding door. He also says the key fob is huge, which is a detraction. Stacy James says she loves the turning radius, the lower center of gravity, and the low cost maintenance that she says she has. She says she wishes it had seat warmers, that it was a softer ride on rutted or pothole-filled roads. She wishes the sliding door had an automatic close and that the nav system wasn't a total piece of crap. She wishes there was more storage in the dash and that the back door had stronger hinges so you aren't afraid you're going to break them. Bob Jesselenick says he thinks it's a wonderful, quiet, smooth engine, drives like a dream, super sharp turning radius, and all the doors close properly. He also likes the front-wheel drive. He hates the steering wheel column. The controls are different. There's no tilt wheel, and there's a noisy OEM tires. The paint chips really easily on the front hood, and the rear door is not sealing very good. Waylon Jagger says, cross between Mick Jagger and Waylon Jennings, interesting name. No tilt steering, it's a negative. Squeaky brakes, negative. He likes the front wheel drive, but the door latch on the sliding doors are not great. Let's see what else we got here. Caesar Vincent says that the check engine light sometimes would come on and off, but next day will come off again. So I'm not going to repeat over and over again if people are just doubling up on someone has already said. I'm going to try to just omit that so I'm not repeating myself. Ian Hoffman likes the diesel fuel economy and driving characteristics. Great view of the road while driving. Surprisingly quiet. Lower step entry on the side door than other Euro-style vans. This is a big one that I've read numerous times. The headlights burn out way too easily. And they're hard to change. You have to glue them in after, and then how are you going to get them out again? His parking brake lines have frozen, quote unquote, on each winter. He doesn't like the minimalist brake lights and would like them to be doubled up or a center light. Don't know really what he's talking about there. He says the sliding door can sometimes be challenging to close fully. I've heard a lot about the sliding door. Interesting. John Constantino says he loves the turning radius, the payload, the interior width, cab layout, and the looks. He doesn't like the acceleration lag, and he thinks the build quality is poor. Another thing he doesn't like is the programming. He can't lock the front with rear doors open while running. He says there's a lack of parts availability when bringing it in for service. This person likes the huge doors, the giant mirrors. He doesn't like the door seals. He thinks the radio is terrible. and there was a leak in the roof. This is a brand new van. The seats are not very adjustable, and it's either too hot or too cold in the cab. Another person doesn't like the passenger armrest, the fact there isn't one. There's no cruise control. I'm guessing they just have a lower, what do you call it? A van with limited options. I'm sure you can get cruise control. This person, Mary Jane Taylor, she can't reach the grab handle. The tire light stays on despite of correct tire pressure, and there's a lot of road noise. She says it does drive and handle well. Dwayne Jones, who I believe is a subscriber of mine, loves the turning radius. The engine turns over with no hesitation. Plus, I don't have to put my foot on the brake like some vehicles in a hard fashion. It rides comfortably down the road. The first thing I hated is the basic stock radio antenna is garbage. The tires, he doesn't like the tires, and you have to remove the entire headlight assembly to change the headlight bulb. Overall, he gives it an A- so far. Let's see. This person says they love that they can stand inside, they can drive through snow and onto frozen lakes. I don't think that's a good idea. He can stretch out sideways to sleep. He can turn around for a big van, I guess when he's sleeping he's talking about. Both sliding doors and the back open. It's a lot like a small open pavilion in the woods. He doesn't like all the ports, USB and headphones near the ignition. He says there's no light there, so it's dark and recessed, and he can't really see what he's doing. You connect to what or anything? I guess he's talking about the onboard computer thing. Sliding doors grew up in a time before minivans. I don't know what that means. Bill Driscoll says he likes the eye to road height. He sees over everything almost. He likes the power. He says it turns on a dime, during almost as good as his daughter's Nissan front-wheel drive car. What he doesn't like the seats. He doesn't like the seat adjustment, height adjustment. There's no steering wheel tilt, and the wing window should open. There's no passenger armrest. Yeah. One of the things I heard is, personally I've read, is that the windows will not roll all the way down. So they go like 2 or 3 inches of glass is showing. So if you want to put your arm on the side of your window, you can't. Well, unless you want to stick it on a pane of glass. The other thing is, when you're looking in your side view mirror, I guess depending on your position, the way the glass, the driver's side window is designed, there's a big split between it, so it's awkward to see in the side view mirror. Let's see. Oh, this person says he hates that there's no park gear. That's another thing. You have to put it in neutral and put the e-brake on. A lot of these are repeating. Hey, this guy says he likes the acceleration versus the size. He loves the front wheel drive. He doesn't like the steering wheel height and lack of adjustability. He says a lack of horn beep upon locking with the fob. So I guess the horn doesn't beep when you lock it with the fob. No ability to have the parking lights on. He doesn't like the cup holder placement. Carl Lawrence says this is what he likes. He has the flexibility to go over anywhere. It's overall comfortable as an RV. He likes the turning radius, the front seats, and ability to swivel, which is probably has aftermarket swivel attached. So I don't know how accurate that is to include that. He says the AC is very loud. He would like I guess this must be like a Travato or something, because he's talking about the awning and stuff. He says the doors are finicky and need to be slammed to lock. and a lot of lights are burning out. So there you have it. Lots of different comments from people that actually own the Promaster. I think it's really good to get other people's experiences rather than just listening to what a salesman says, or even a magazine like Car and Drive or whatever who does a quick test. They don't really have a long term um, experience of having the vehicle on a regular basis for months or even years at a time. Um, so yeah, it's good to hear real world experiences. That's kind of a tongue twister. Um, Personally, I really like the to live in this van like a ProMaster. I really like the amount of space that it has, and I really think of the three Sprinter, Transit, and ProMaster, it's definitely got a major advantage in terms of space. However, it's probably not the van I would buy because of, as some people have mentioned, there's like a question about the build quality. And like with the headlights, for example, I've read numerous times about people saying about how they've replaced like three headlights within a year or five headlights within a year and a half, and they burn out so fast. And they were trying to replace them with LEDs, which works way better. But then I don't really understand exactly what's happening, but they actually have to glue it in, because the screws aren't like, if you take a real close up of the headlight, there's no screws there. So that's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I would plan to own the vehicle for like at least 20 years, and I just don't have the confidence in its build quality that I want to have to spend that much money on it. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and be well, my friends.